Unknown 9 Awakening has potential, but not worth the full price. Your $50 are better spent on the new Red Dead Redemption PC port. This is a AA game, but it's fair to judge because it still cannot compete with the modern AA releases. My hopes were high for this game as an Uncharted-like game with some East Asian influence. All I want is a good single-player, linear cinematic, story-driven game with a good narrative, compelling characters, and a fun gameplay. And yes, I played this game on controller because this is what it was designed for. I also played on a high-end computer. I have played halfway through the chapter 2 until unfortunately lost interest. This combat system reminds me of Dishonored. The gameplay puts heavy emphasis on stealth, combining supernatural abilities with a melee focus attack just like Dishonored does. Where Dishonored succeeds, Unknown 9 is unfortunately fails. Dishonored has a fluent and more gameplay, whereas Unknown 9 feels clunky and less meaningful. Those combat system offers a much greater challenge, thus reward for players who have mastered it. I'm Renegade's too fast. This results in extremely repetitive combat, mostly met in button ability, matching or chaining. Yes, there are two basic strategies such as pushing enemies into dynamite and causing them to die, which can be rewarding and fun to pull off. However, it's very much overused in the game, making it too convenient. But the real power is when you can leverage certain ability chains to win every single combat encounter with minimal effort and similarly low reward. Stepping and shade are way too easy to abuse. And break and rest so fast and can be used for the OP abilities. You can always repeat the game loop of shade hide, stealth kill, shade hide, stealth kill. And if you need to exit plan, reserve your stepping token for any emergency that comes in your way. It is fun to discover such strategies and apply them, but it becomes tedious at the same point. Combat feels like it's forced, unnatural, and not an end itself. I don't mind the shelf combat system though. I have played many games with the bad combat systems, but at least they had a great story with a great writing. One major issue I have with the combat is that this is a stealth game emphasizing player choice in different controversies, yet the game requires you to kill every single enemy round. You cannot simply sneak past them in chapter 2 as you could in chapter 1. Outside of the combat, Unknown 9 behaves a lot like Uncharted, only parkour is much simpler and pretty much almost risk-free. The riddles are basic and not very time-consuming. Parkour is also 100% safe, and there is a little challenge of reward to jumping right away. Unknown 9 also overuses the narrow pages that you have to press Y to fit them in. And I remember it happening over 5 times just in 30 minutes of gameplay, which is a bit too much. As a reminder, I ran this game on a high-end PC by contemporary standards, RTX 4090, Intel i9 13th Gen, over 64 GB of memory DDR5 RAM. Loading in new regions results in a significant stuttering, severe frame time drop. This is especially noticeable in the beginning of cinematic cutscenes. Enemies say she without even knowing the enemy is a single female person. That happened in chapter 1 even before the Assassins were actively looking for her, as well as in chapter 2 where she is not only wanted fugitive. Leather is one of them. The graphics look very dated. I have compared this game to Dishonored, and yet Dishonored doesn't feel old due to the good graphics quality and the unique art style. Facial animations are rather poor for a 2AA game, and animations are not up to standards. Now, again, some of this wouldn't be a problem if Unknown 9 didn't have a realistic graphic style and had chosen something more stylized. The story premise is that civilization will always be destroyed by having the weight of their own enemies. Why exactly do they hate us? Why the Vint is a bad guy? We have the answers from the story. Vincent leads a weird cult from that blindly obeys him. He kills Reka and he dabbles with the power beyond his own control that could spell doom for humanity. Vincent and Reka symbolize a sort of a good and evil dynamic, and there is a great potential of the story. But does it sound believable based on what we actually see, the writing and the animations? Not at all. The dialogue is unbelievable, sanitized and unrealistic, and Vincent comes across as that weird Reddit moderator who was bullied too much in the school and is now on the power trip. So now conclusion. Unknown 9 has lots of potential, some great ideas but terrible execution. The protagonist is not compelling or likable, dialogue is bad, and I cannot take the characters or their motivations very seriously. The gameplay is nothing special either. It looked too easy and unsatisfying, unrewarding. I have played many games with a bad gameplay but a good story, and unfortunately, a $50 Steam game with a story rich and lore rich text should have a better writing than this. If an action-adventure game cannot persuade critics through the gameplay, then perhaps it should through the storytelling and amazing characters and humor. This is not the case here, unfortunately. No humor, no entertainment, not so relatable characters. This game isn't the return to amazing linear Uncharted-like games that I had been looking forward to. I don't think it's worth $50. Recommending only on sale if you are into the story-driven games and you are completely out of options. Thank you and bye.